Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on The Merry Wives of Windsor, and today we get to hear from Mr. Ford to wrap up Act 2, Scene 2. So Mr. Ford is married to Mistress Ford. Falstaff wants to sleep with Mistress Ford and Mistress Page because they are in charge of the money of their house, so Falstaff thinks that if he sleeps with them, he'll be able to get the money. Now, when Mr. Ford and Mr. Page found out about this plot, Mr. Page was like, yeah, no, there's no way my wife is going to sleep with Falstaff. Mr. Ford got way more suspicious, though, and decided that he wanted to meet Falstaff so that he could sort of keep an eye on things from that perspective. Because, like, his wife could cheat on him and say, I never did, but if he hears it from Falstaff, that, whatever, man's opinion versus wife's fact, whatever. So Mr. Ford is the jealous type. He has decided to go in disguise as Brooke to go meet Falstaff, which he did yesterday. He found Falstaff in the tavern and was chatting with him and was like, I've been trying to woo Mistress Ford forever, but I can't. Here's a great big bag of money. If you would please go woo her. And Falstaff was like, why do you want me to woo her if you want to sleep with her? And Ford's like, well, once she's made one discretion, then it's much easier for her to make more discretions. So if she sleeps with you first, then she won't be able to say, well, I'm so faithful to me anymore, and I'll be able to sleep with her. Falstaff was like, okay, cool. She told me to come by tomorrow at between 10 and 11, which was a message brought to Falstaff by Mistress Quickly, because Mistress Quickly is plotting with Mistresses Ford and Page to get revenge on Falstaff, because this whole plot of wooing them kind of makes the lady sick. But Falstaff was like, tomorrow between 10 and 11, I'm going to be there, so come on back tomorrow night and I'll tell you the tale of my exploits. And Brooke is like, cool. Brooke/Ford is like, cool. Falstaff leaves, so Ford has a moment on the stage by himself to wrap up the scene, and he says, what a damned Epicurean rascal is this? My heart is ready to crack with impatience. Who says this is improvident jealousy? My wife hath sent to him. The hour is fixed. The match is made. Would any man have thought this? See the hell of having a false woman. My bed shall be abused, my coffers ransacked, my reputation gnawn at. And I shall not only receive this villainous wrong, but stand under the adoption of abominable terms, and by him that does me this wrong. Terms. Names. A Maimon sounds well. Lucifer. Well. Barbizon. Well. Yet they are devil's additions, the names of fiends, but cuckold. Whitall. Cuckold. The devil himself hath not such a name. Page is an ass, a secure ass. He will trust his wife. He will not be jealous. I will rather trust a Fleming with my butter, Parson Hugh the Welshman with my cheese, an Irishman with my aquavitae bottle, or a thief to walk my ambling gelding, than my wife with herself. Then she plots. Then she ruminates. Then she devises. And what they think in their hearts, they may affect. They will break their hearts, but they will affect. Heaven be praised for my jealousy. 11 o'clock the hour. I will prevent this. Detect my wife, be revenged on Falstaff, and laugh at Page. I will about it. Better 3 hours too soon than a minute too late. Fie, cuckold. Cuckold. So, he doesn't like the state of things right now. He doesn't like that Falstaff has an appointment to go sleep with his wife this. He's upset about this, and he's upset about the position that he's also put himself in by paying Falstaff to try to sleep with Mistress Ford, because he's like, I'm now paying a guy to do me wrong, and I have to just sit and take it. Like, this is, ugh. He's like, there is no worse word than cuckold, which is what he's going to be as soon as Mistress Ford sleeps with Falstaff, which we'll get into later. But anyway, you can guess how that whole thing is going to go. But it also sounds like he's jealous of Paige for being secure in his marriage. But he winds up or finishes off by saying that he absolutely positively does not trust his wife. He will trust anyone else with anything else, but he doesn't trust his wife to be left on her own, because then she can plot and come up with schemes and all this sort of a thing. So he decides that he's going to go to his own house between 10 and 11 so that he can try to stop this whole Falstaff Mistress Ford thing that is scheduled to happen. So he's going to go stake things out so that he can try to squash the entire encounter from taking place. And that's the end of Act 2, Scene 2. So, first day we had to go through a lot, and now we're just barely done with Act 2, Scene 2. So there's still a lot of play to go, and tomorrow we've got another nice long stretch before we get to an actual monologue. So prepare for a long one with a lot of explanation, and I will see you tomorrow for that. Mwah.